All right, as you wrap up your warm-up, I'm going to explain some rules to our next activity. Rules are as follows. You are welcome to write down these rules if you'd like. Maybe open up something like a notes or something on your computer, or maybe you've got your lab notebook with you, and you want to jot down a couple notes. This is our mystery cube activity. Rule number one. Rule number one. There's 2 rounds. The first round only consists of you being able to observe. There's no talking, no communication, only observing and jotting notes. Round number 1, observations and recording of notes. In round number 2, you can communicate. However, you cannot move from your location. You are confined to your space. You cannot stand up. You cannot slide side to side. You can turn around if you need to. So depending on where the cube is, you're going to need to turn around to be able to see it. But you can't move. The goal of this activity is for you to design an entire model that accounts for all sides of the cube. The goal is to design a model that accounts for all sides of the cube. But remember, you cannot move. Okay?
You can't.
So in round number 2, you can communicate. You cannot move. What questions do you have? Yes?
Is round 2 the same cube?
It'll be the same cube, same position. Yes, sir?
Didn't we do this last time?
Maybe you did. We're going to give it a try again if we have. That's what I was asking earlier if we had done that.
I have a question.
Yep, on this activity then. Oh, we got a question.
So you said all sides. Do we just have to like guess for the bottom, or are you gonna move the cube? Or
That's a good question. I like your question. What do you guys think? Do you have to guess for the bottom?
I think estimated.
You think what? You think guesstimating? Yes. Okay. Did you say, I think I'm going to guesstimate? Okay. A guesstimation? Ella brings up a great point. Ella, why did you say, do we have to guess for the bottom? What leads you to think that you're going to have to guess for the bottom?
we can't see the bottom?
Oh, interesting. You can't see the bottom. So you're not going to be able to get that information from anyone.
No.
So how might we go about figuring out what is on the bottom? Okay, maybe you're going to flip the cube over, but the cube's not going to move.
You could, if there's a pattern.
Oh, we're looking for patterns. Oh, so maybe there's a pattern to the sides of the cube, which lead us to draw a conclusion about what's on the bottom. Okay, interesting. All right. I'm going to go get our cube. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to get it set up. Remember, round number 1, no talking. Only observations and writing.
Writing. Look, I'm making this chicken wrapper. Fry. We doing a wrapper.
Oh, is that big? I thought it was going to be mine.
No peeking, Jared.
Wait, what was going on?
No peeking. No, you can't peek. Okay, remember you can't move. Very first round, all you can do is observe and take notes. That will last about 2 minutes. You may begin. Observe and take notes. You have 30 seconds remaining for observations and note-taking. 30 seconds remaining for observations and note-taking. All right, round number 2. Remember, you cannot move. However, you are allowed to communicate. Communication should be in a way that allows for you to account for all sides of the cube. You want to design a model of all sides of the cube. You may begin.
This is broad in the middle and then.
What are the numbers?
She said that, is it Tuesday?
Tuesday. People.
You said that was what? Yeah. It says Alma in the middle, like, Alma.
All right, let's pause for 1 second.
And a 4 at the top.
Ella and Asia, how are you feeling right now? Okay, tired. How are you feeling about the cube activity right now?
But I'm here.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I can only see one side and I can't read it.
Oh, everyone can see one side. They might be able to read it though. Oh, a couple of us see two sides.
The outfit, and then the 2, and I think that's a 6, and white, and then I saw a blue side, so I just wrote that.
Okay, Asia sees something, she said a side that's white. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is Asia seeing this cube from? And Ella, for that matter. From her house. Okay, I agree, from her house. What, if we're talking about them being in proximity with us in the classroom, where would they be at right now? Okay, in the front of the class? Is there a specific location in the front of the class where you could point to say they'd be right there?
I'm really not seeing a camera.
I'm really not seeing a camera. So that this might be something that we need to clarify.
Where's your camera?
That's a good question. Is it this white thingy right here? Well, if I'm looking at the screen right here, and I point to the white thingy.
I told you it's the white thing, Emily.
Oh, so it is the white thing. So where would Ella and Asia be if they were in this classroom?
The front.
In the front, kind of over in this direction. Okay, all right. And Jordan. Jordan is now with us.
Hey, about time.
So they would be sitting in this general location, right? And Ella said she felt tired, but she also made the statement, I'm really not able to see very much. I can see a white side. That's a piece of information that's useful. Miss Macy, how were you feeling when we first started this communication part? She was very confused because she could only see one side. Anybody else feeling confused? Oh, we got some head nods. Okay, all right. How can we help to organize this in a way that minimizes the confusion? You can't move around. Your rules are you cannot move the box.
Draw a picture of all the information.
Okay, drawing a picture may be useful. Somebody said discussion. We started with discussion. It was not very what? The discussion was not very well. Can you be more specific about what you mean by not very well? Oh, there were 7 people talking at one time or more. Ms. Macy, did you feel confused because there was like a whole bunch of people talking at the same time? Okay. Did anybody else feel confused because there was a whole bunch of people talking at one time? Okay. And so maybe you were like jotting stuff down as quickly as you possibly could based on a bunch of people talking at the same time. So I'm going to step back and I'm not going to talk anymore. And I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to try to organize this in a way that makes sense. But also remembering our final goal is we have to account for a model of that entire cube.
The bottom.
You may begin, including the bottom.
This side says Roberta, 7, 3. Top right corner,
What color
7,
is it?
blue. Let's see it. In the bottom left corner is 3. That's all I can see.
And then red, 6.
Maybe we should also remember we have people online that we need to double check to make sure they hear these things.
Emily,
And then 2 in the bottom.
Here, you said that.
Avery, is it like
2 on the
your
bottom.
math?
Yeah, darker.
No,
Yeah,
it's like the same. Avery's like. Hey, it's like
What's on the other side?
That one's.
Yellow.
Yeah. And then 2 on the bottom. So it does say something. The top says something. There's numbers on it. There's a 5 at the top. Yeah. The top corner, there's a 5. There's a 4 and there's 1.
Yep. Just for safety. Just right across the office.
There's a 4. All right, 2 at the bottom and 6 at the top.
2,
Stand up.
6.
You have to stay here.
Then you'll see the top. 2 in the bottom left,
On the other
6 in the
side
top
is
right.
5.
Hey.
So it's 4 at the bottom. I covered it. Right. Sorry.
Bro, it says Frank. It says Frank. Four's over 46, 5.
It says Rob.
That way it takes that way in. It's more, like, if you look at it from Moore's, then it's right.
What color is the
You
top?
look at it from. Right away. Hey, we'll go
Right,
red.
another F.
What? We'll go south. Red.
Because that's Alfred, that's Elma, that's Rob, that's that's Rob.
Bro,
So 5 is actually the top.
What is it? Oh, what is the number?
Does everybody got it? Two on the bottom and 4 on the top.
Oh, shoot.
You're gonna make sure.
Everybody got this one?
Who's gonna draw it?
I kind of have it.
Yeah, there's one on the bottom.
I'm good.
Thanks, Mom, for bringing that in.
Hey, Mr. Corlett, what color is the top of the box?
Grass.
It's orange.
Red.
No, it's not, it's orange.
It's like an orange red.
Yeah.
Because that's like.
Wait, which one is the almond side?
It's, what?
What color is the almond side?
White.
I don't remember.
Elma's so bad. I didn't. No, I did not.
Wow, R-O-T.
The bottom one. 3 there's 2 3s.
Emily, speak to God with
Sorry about that.
You doing? Yep, but I've got, just a webcam over there that would work just the same. Plug it into the computer. Under,
So it is possible.
so this one's given 3-dimensional right now, so it's showing the entire room up here where we are and everything else. And under the settings for Google Meet, you can record. So right now I'm just live recording everything that they're doing. And then I just stop the recording once they're done with this activity. I have,
But like this is USB. I get that. So, but would a camera be the same way? USB right in?
some of them are and some of them aren't. Like some cameras will have a plug-in that lets you, it sees it as a webcam as well. Older models, not so much, but some of the newer models do.
So I got to get the right, like that right there is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know if this one does or not. I
Something
haven't
like
messed
that.
around with it, but yeah, I've actually got a few extra cameras floating around if you want to try some of them. And it might just be a matter of downloading a driver that allows for the computer to recognize this is a video and the video is coming in and it's kind of treating it just like a webcam.
Then so you don't have your online kids with you right now.
They are with me right
They
now.
are with you.
I'm missing Ryan, but
they're-
yeah, they're all right here.
So you're doing it synchronous.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I actually just had Miss Oakdale do some of the greenhouse ones, and I ordered a television. And I'm gonna mount a television over here on the wall and put this over there, so that then they can see this screen. So it's more like these kids are part of my classroom up on the screen there. So that's kind of the goal. And I don't know if we've got extra computers floating or not, screens floating around that are a little bit bigger, but if there was TVs and stuff,
I haven't wondered if I could project it.
probably.
You know, like,
Instead of what I'm doing with my agenda right here, you could probably project that same thing right up here.
right.
And then they are part of the classroom. You see this on the screen.
All right. Well, that's a couple days down the road, but that's kind of what I was thinking. At first I thought, there's no way I want to do that, but now I'm thinking, it's a whole lot easier. I just sit here and watch them go on. I don't have to set special directions out.
Yep. And then they're kind of engaged with you a little bit like a classroom, and you kind of get that back to that original model of what you
All right.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have an individual that would like to explain
to our entire class, including the people that are online, what they have in their model so far.
Right.
I have everything but the bottom. So maybe we need to go, Miss Emily has a statement that she has everything but the bottom. So maybe she would be willing to share, but there's a couple other people that have their hands up that maybe they want to share something as well.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I have the bottom feel like wrong fell
Okay,
because and it feel like 5, 6 on the bottom because you have Rob on the right side, on my right side, Roberto on the other side, and Rob's numbers are 7, 3, Roberto's 7, and 3 is the amount of letters that are in Rob. In Roberto, 7 is the amount of letters in Roberto. And the same goes for Alma and Alfred. And
can I pause you for 1 second?
yeah, sure.
Miss Stinson got a glazed over look there for a second. She was like, you know what, that's a lot for me right now. Oh, Macy said this, she did too. So we went from, what does the box look like, and directly got to a statement of what's on the bottom. What do we need to do between starting and bottom? I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that said a lot of different things. Yes? Oh, evaluating what we can't see. So we need to go from what we know to what we don't know. And the most logical step right now might be to go where? Fisher's framework's 3 steps ahead of everyone else's, or at least mine. Oh, that's where he went. He went from, well, I already know all of this information because we collaborated together, to I'm going to make a prediction on the bottom because he was kind of seeing the breadcrumbs along the way, and some of us are sitting there going, I'm having struggles moving from what I know to what I don't know because I need to revisit what's even on the other side I can't see. Does that make sense, Mr. Bishop? Why is this piece of information important? Why is it important for us to say, I understand where you are, but I'm not quite there yet? Yes, ma'am. So, putting the pieces together might be easier for you or for other people if we revisited what we have just talked about. Is that what I'm hearing? Like, I need to revisit this conversation we had as a whole about what is on my side of the box to put together the picture of the box itself. Is that what I'm hearing? Am I restating what you said appropriately? I want to make sure that I'm using your thoughts, not my own. Good. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to share? So where do we need to go right now then? What? To what we can see. Okay. How did you go about explaining what you could see? And maybe even what you couldn't see?
Telling everyone what was on their side of the box and then they wrote it down.
Okay. So from your perception, you shared what you could see. Is that what I'm hearing? And then what did you do with that information? You wrote it down. How did you write it down? Oh, you just put it in your lab notebook. How did you put it in your lab notebook? How did you organize this in your lab notebook? Go ahead, Ms. Ian.
I put like number 1, like starting with the side I can see. I put like I made Elma's side number 1, and then I wrote down all the characteristics, like if white has element in the middle, and then it has a 2 in the bottom left corner and a 4 in the top right.
So how many sides did you have?
I have 6.
And so did you just have 6 different boxes on your paper? Okay. Yes, ma'am?
I did that, and then I drew like really badly shaped cubes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, good.
there's like a side here and then a side and not like from the front on.
So you created 6 different boxes, but then also you kind of designed the whole cube thing like this, where you could see 2 sides. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. Did anybody do anything different?
I did, kind of.
Oh, we got an idea. Is that you, Ella? Or
Yeah.
was that Asia?
That was,
Okay. What did you do, Ella?
So I wrote down white sides, blue sides, and red sides, and then I wrote the names under them and the numbers that correspond with the names.
Could you turn your screen on and maybe show us what you're describing?
Don't ignore the boxes, but that's all the
All right,
information over here.
I'm turning the computer around so that they can kind of see what you're showing. So, okay, I think I can see what you're saying. So, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing kind of the whole like 3-dimensional drawing of a cube. Like this?
No,
Something like that?
no.
No? Hold that up
said
again
ignore-
for me then.
Ignore the boxes.
Oh, ignore the boxes. Okay.
These things, like, okay. So there's white side, and then the names and the numbers, blue side and red side.
Oh, okay. So you broke yours, you organized yours based on the fact that 2 different sides had the same color. And then you put the names based on, okay, all right. Good information, just organized slightly differently. I like it. Anybody else organize theirs in a different way? I have seen other people organize it like this, where if you've ever folded a cube, you can account for all sides of the cube and folding one like that. And so they laid it out, and then maybe they said, this one's the bottom one, so I've got a question mark on the bottom one. So I've seen people do it that way. Is any way right over the other one? No. It is pieces of information that we can use to make predictions about the model itself. All right. So I saw Ella had a lot of information. I'm not positive that Ella and Asia and Jordan have all of the information from the different sides of the cube, though I saw Ella did have at least colors and some names based on colors. So I'm wondering, would there be anybody that would be willing to explain their entire model or show their entire model so that the individuals that are online with us can see their model as well? And maybe they need to explain it out loud for all of us to be able to understand as well, because maybe we still have a few people that are missing pieces of information. All right, Ms. Buscemi, it's all you.
Okay, so the one all the way to the fold out cube one.
I'm doing the fold out one, okay.
Okay, all the way at the bottom
All the way to the bottom
would be the top cube.
would be the top cube, because we're saying this one's the bottom.
Right.
So this would be the side, top. Okay.
So I have Frank
Frank,
in like an orangey red.
you know what? Let me do this. Let me make this bigger so that those people that are online can see it a little bit better. So down here we have Frank, okay?
Then it's like in an orangey red box.
Orangey red box. Can I just say it's red?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I call it red? And I'll just color it in red. Okay?
And then on the bottom left
Bottom left.
of the Frank box.
Bottom left of the Frank box. Got it.
There's a 4,
There is a 4, okay?
and then on the top right,
Top right,
there's a 5.
there is a 5, okay.
And I'm gonna call one above it Alfred.
Alfred, okay. How was Alfred spelled?
Alfred.
Okay,
And then that one's white,
okay.
and there's a 2 in the bottom left,
2, okay.
and a 6 in the top right.
6 in the top right, okay.
Then on this side,
This one?
yep,
Okay.
there's Roberto.
R
Oh, I don't know.
O B
It's number of the A.
Robert with an A.
And then
So Roberta. Okay, all right.
there's in the bottom left
3 in the bottom left,
and a 7 in the top right.
7 in the top right. Okay.
And go to the other side,
Okay, we're here.
and you have Rob.
Okay, I got Rob.
Oh, well, wait, Roberta's blue, and so's Rob. Like color-wise.
Blue and blue.
Yes.
Okay. I've got a blue marker here.
And then on the bottom left of Rob is a 3,
3, okay.
and the bottom right is or the top right is a 3.
Is 3, okay.
And then that one on top,
This one?
yep,
Okay.
is Alma, like the town.
ALMA.
It's white, and on the bottom it has a 2. Top right it has a 4.
A what?
A 4.
A 4, okay. Did anybody get anything different?
Oh wait, the Alma's. Wait, never mind.
We got the same? Hey, we're on the right track. All right, Mr. Fisher, let's go to you. Can you come up with one conclusion you can draw based on what we see here? One thing. You got to limit it to one. Okay, he believes that the bottom name starts with F-R-A-N. What is your justification for that? Okay, I'm looking at Rob and Roberta. Three on the bottom?
Yeah, and first 2 letters are the same. First.
Okay, Elma and Alfred, okay. Oh, so the bottom, so what I'm hearing Fisher say is he believes the bottom left number indicates the number of letters that are the same at the beginning of the name. Yes, ma'am. The bottom number is what?
The top number is
The top number you think is the number of letters in the whole thing. Okay, so our prediction right now is F-R-A-N, and our reasoning is because the bottom left number of Frank is 4, which would mean that there are 4 of the same letters at the beginning of the bottom name. Yes, ma'am.
I think that it could possibly, the top number could possibly be 8, because you have a 3, a 4, 5, 6, and 7.
8 question mark. So the question is, or the thought is, maybe the upper right-hand corner number is an 8 because we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The prediction is maybe we have an 8.
It can't be 2 because there's already 4 letters in there.
It can't be 2 because what?
There's already 4 letters in the beginning of our word.
Okay, so instead of it being 2, so then going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we already have 4 letters in here based on the prediction that Fisher made, and so we're going with 8 and not 2, okay? Seems logical to me. I'm sorry, what? Wouldn't the bottom number be 4 in that case?
Yes.
Okay, so we have an 8 up here and we're thinking the bottom number is 4.
Colored red.
It's gotta be Francine. That'd be right.
I heard somebody say that the name may end up being Francine. Okay? Is there any other piece of information that we are not aware of or that we don't have accounted for on this model? I'm sorry, what, Ms. Sheehan?
Orangey red.
Oh, the bottom is red. What makes you think the bottom is red?
I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, so the bottom is red. What other reason might we predict that the bottom is red if you couldn't see it?
The top.
The top is red. And so why would that matter for the top being red, the bottom might be red? Ms. Stinson? Gotcha, so the opposite sides of the cube are always the same color. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, sir? Oh,
Because you have problems with your access, birds are going to stay with the center and alter it, alter it.
interesting. So the thought is that each opposite side tends to have a male or female name. So if male's on one side, a traditionally male name is on one side, then a traditionally female name ends up potentially being on the other side. Okay? Huh? Yeah, flip it over. You mean flip it over? Is there anything else we need to add?
You know, I can guess the name.
Why would I show you? Congratulations, you have come to your first consensus.
Yesterday.
So here's my question for you. Going back to the warm-up that we started with. Remember back in quarantine, March, April, May, many of the things that we were told during that period of time changed. Why? Why did we hear something different as we got into June, July, August? Jacob?
Because stuff got worse.
Because stuff got worse? Okay, maybe. Maybe we had a larger number of cases. All right. Avery?
Better understand the virus itself.
Oh, so we gained more information?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a lot of information to predict that maybe this is Francine for a name?
Yeah.
Do we know for a fact that it is Francine? No, but we have reasonable certainty, don't we? We say we've got all of this information, and this information has given us reasonable certainty that we can make a prediction that is true. That's how consensus in a scientific classroom or a scientific environment works. We take a whole bunch of information. We look at it. We analyze it. We graph it. We interpret it. And it allows us to make predictions. It allows us to say with relative certainty, this is the outcome, or this is the potential cause, or this is maybe what will happen going forward. As new information is presented in a scientific community, we update our thinking. That's how science works. Science is a tool to allow us to make accurate predictions using the information that we have in front of us to the best of our ability. Science should change. Science should not remain the same. Our understanding should not remain the same. I guarantee that in 6 months from now, we are going to have different insights and different thoughts on this whole virus that we're dealing with right now. We may even have treatments that we are sitting there going, you don't even need to wear a face mask anymore because we're able to treat it. Right? That's the hope. All right? Questions, comments, or concerns? All right, we have approximately 20 minutes remaining in our class period. I would like for you to go back to the agenda and please click on the syllabus.